It's a valid podcast. You dig what I'm saying? Vulnerability, accountability, leadership, intentionality, and demand. All aspects of life, and we just here to talk about it.
And that's valid.
That's valid. We got on some new merch today. I'm hyped as hell because Shelby finally let me go ahead and get the merch. Okay, that's what's been stopping me this whole time. She's been telling me, don't get the merch just yet. Let's just wait, blah, 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 boom, bada, bang. She finally let me do it, and we've been going crazy with the merch, man. So if y'all haven't seen the merch, make sure y'all tune into our Instagram at Valid TV Podcast, and y'all look at that. We got car air fresheners in 4 different flavors. We got our bracelets on. You dig what I'm saying? We got hoodies, not for y'all, but for us. And we got t-shirts. Those are for y'all. All right. Today we're talking about. I ain't even gonna say what we're talking about just yet. Actually, I'm gonna just go straight into introducing our guest today.
I'm Aaliyah. I'm Brian.
There you go. And I'm gonna jump right into it and ask y'all about a validity check. You feel me? Mm-hmm. If you don't know what a validity check is, and for anybody who's watching out there who hasn't seen any of the other episodes, a validity check is you tell us a situation. Tell us a situation. It could be your situation, somebody else's situation, whatever you talked about with your friends, with your homies, whatever. And you let us know who's valid. Me, I want to know why. Why do you think that person's valid? Why do you think that person's not valid? You feel me? And if you got any tips and advice to get over it, you let us know what's up. All right?
All
right. Who got one? Spill it.
All right. So my friend was out to eat with her shorty or whatever, and it was at a restaurant, and the waitress was flirting with my friend's girlfriend. Okay. So they were being flirtatious. I mean, it didn't really seem flirtatious at the time, but it seemed like a little bit friendly, like she wasn't really sure. So then my friend went to the bathroom and she came back and her shorty was like, oh, we got free tacos. And my friend was like, what do you mean we got free tacos? She was just like, the waitress, she gave me a bunch of free tacos. And then, and I personally think that the girl was wrong, but she was just like, oh, I got her number. And my friend was upset, rightfully so in my opinion, because she was just like, what do you mean you got her number? Like, what did you have to do to get those tacos? Like, what? So then she was just like, oh, like, it's not that serious. I just got her number. We can get free tacos, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically, long story short, they finished the meal, whatever they paid, and the girl is mad. So they're leaving from the restaurant, and then her shorty was like, oh, it was just a joke. Like, I didn't really get her number. My friend was still mad. So do y'all think that's valid? Like, does she have a right to be mad? Because in my opinion, I don't think that's something you joke about. Like, why would you?
To what extent was this relationship? To what extent was this relationship?
They were talking very, very, very seriously. Like, they was in a relationship. Like,
were they in a relationship or were they like?
They were dating seriously.
Okay, dating.
Into a relationship.
Okay.
First of all, okay, can I?
Go ahead. Because my mind is racing right now.
Regardless of whether they were in a relationship or not, I think it's messed up to try to mess with someone's feeling just to get a rise out of someone. Telling someone something just to get a rise out of them is messed up. Because you just want to see that person mad, and that is messed up.
I think the messed up part about it is how long it was dragged out.
Yeah, how long it was drawn out.
It wasn't dragged out. From what I'm hearing, it wasn't dragged out for days.
It was dragged out for.
But the person let them stay mad.
Yeah.
When they once they peeped that they were mad, they could have just deaded the joke.
After the person was like, oh, I got her number, and you saw that your shorty was mad, you should have been like, oh, I'm just joking. Like, yeah. That person waited until they left. They paid.
Yeah.
They left.
You let them sit in their anger.
Right.
I'm gonna just throw this out there. That's some shit I would do. So you feel?
Well, we see your take on it now.
Some asshole shit.
That's some shit I would do. I would definitely do that. because I'm a jokester. Like, I'm going to just joke. Like, I'm going to fuck with you. Like,
even if you see that it's like getting them tight and
why get you that tight? If you know that I'm yours, there's no reason why I should get you that tight if I was joking.
Okay, personally, if I was out to eat with my guy and he was talking about, oh, like she gave me free tacos because she like clearly there was like some type of thing going on where she was trying to like flirt with him or something, I'd be like, what you mean you accepted free tacos from this bitch? Like, what?
Right.
You should have been like, no, I'm good.
Did you expect the friend's girlfriend to give the free tacos back?
I mean, no, but you could have like, they could have like, they could have like
tacos, but the point is,
how many free tacos did they get? How many free tacos did they get?
That don't matter. It does not matter. Besides the point. It's besides the point. The thing is,
they could have gotten a free taco for every minute it went on.
No, it went on
the biggest
like
bang for your buck.
Once they got the free tacos, it should have just been like, okay, it's over. Like, you got what you wanted out of it, which was some free tacos.
I would have kept going longer if it was me. I would have kept going longer than 30 minutes.
But how long though?
30 minutes is a long time.
Enough. But let's get this. So when Shorty asked her, why would you do that to me? Why would you joke like that? Oh, I just wanted to see how upset you would get. Like, I just wanted to, like, I never seen you really mad. I've had people say that to me, and
I would do that shit.
Yeah, I don't like that. Don't test me.
Right.
Why? Why not?
This is not a test. We're not in school. Like,
why not?
Don't test me.
I want to see how if we dating serious, I'm gonna be the asshole to see how mad you're gonna get. Like, I need to know what to expect.
That's toxic.
You know what I'm saying? Like, mad toxic. I don't like that.
That's toxic.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's fun. I would do some asshole shit like that. Being an asshole is kind of fun sometimes.
We know.
Sometimes. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Aubrey, you getting me tight. You getting me tight now. Next subject.
I wouldn't do it all the time. Like, if I'm with you seriously, I wouldn't continuously like fuck with you like that. Like, not on that type of level. Probably in a different way, but not on that type of level.
So if somebody did that to you, how would you feel about it? Because assholes love being an asshole to other people, but when it's done back to them, then they play victim.
I don't know. I think it depends on the situation. If it was me in that situation, I'd probably be tight for a little bit, but then I'll be like, all right, well, how am I gonna get you back?
Was this person like, once they found out that
I'm making you more mad? I'm making you more mad?
You are toxic. Right. Wait, what are you saying?
When they found out that it was a joke, were they still mad, or were they just like, oh, whatever?
They were mad.
How long were they mad? How long were they mad?
I feel like I would still be mad too, because you let me sit in my anger for this whole time that we were here.
This whole time,
you knew it
she
was
just
not.
Said that whole time was only 30 minutes.
That's a long time.
It's not that long.
30 minutes and we're out to eat. Like, I'm trying to enjoy myself.
My whole day at that point. You ruined my whole day.
30 minutes over 24 hours?
Yes.
Aubrey, no.
Come on, y'all. 30 minutes over 24 hours, and it's just a joke. Now, if you notice, if this person is continuously a jokester, how are you gonna take them serious?
But that's the thing. That's not something that you joke about. There is a difference. There's a line. You don't cross that line. That's just point blank period. Especially because the girl was already being flirtatious. You just don't cross that line.
Now,
you just put it too much.
In this situation, did the girl think that the waitress was being flirtatious? Like, did the girlfriend think the waitress were being flirtatious, or your friend think the waitress was being flirtatious? Because I done been out with Shelby before, and I didn't even realize somebody was being flirtatious until afterwards when she brought us some extra buffalo shrimp for no reason. Then I realized.
But you just be, I don't know where your head be at, because it be so obvious and clear, and I'm just like, this bitch is trying to talk to you. She like,
no, Aubrey, no, she just want to hear it. That's
no.
She just wants you to say, Aubrey, someone is flirting with you. That's what it is. It's okay.
No, I'm so serious. No, I'm so serious. Shelby, you were there. She was there. She witnessed this. And this girl brought us extra buffalo shrimp. And I said, I hope we don't got to pay for this. She said, nah, you okay. We didn't ask for it.
I hope it's free.
We got an appetizer. We didn't get a meal. You feel me? You brought the extra shrimp. And I thought when you make extras, it go to somebody else's other appetizer. You feel me? You don't.
But let's just say, like, if like we wasn't just friends and like it was something different, I would be mad. Like, I would be like,
right, exactly.
But I didn't ask her shorty to bring us some extra buffalo shrimp, but you ate them. I didn't ask her to give it to us. You feel me?
Well, that's different. But the thing is, from the story, she knew that the waitress didn't do anything, but yet she continued to lie to her girlfriend and say, "Oh, I got her number," just to get a rise out of her. That's messed up.
Have y'all ever done that in a different way?
No, I probably would never do that. But why cause unnecessary drama?
Shelby, have you done that?
I'll be talking too. Talking too, right with you.
I mean, it's kind of cute when like a guy is a little jealous, just a little bit, but like I wouldn't drag it.
Yeah.
You know?
What's dragging it though? What's dragging it?
Dragging out for 30 ass minutes.
30 ass.
Like, that's a long time. I'm gonna be like, I'm just joking, or you know.
Yeah, like right after, say like.
Yeah. Or I'm like,
right.
Stupid. Okay. I respect y'all opinions. You feel me? I respect it.
All right. Let's move on. Because we're never gonna accept this, but
we're gonna just have to agree to this. I'm gonna have to agree to this.
Yeah, you're the only one with that crazy ass point of view.
Nah, there might be other people out there that got the same point of view as me.
We gonna see.
There might be.
There might. Listen, Shelby, there might be. So never know. But today's topic is HBCUs versus PWIs. Feel me? I thought that it would be a great conversation for us to have because I personally feel like they're two different worlds. I went to a PWI, and then I went to Howard homecoming, and I went to Virginia State's homecoming, and that was a total different experience than my homecoming. You feel me? Like, that shit's just way different. And so as I look back at my time in college and I think of all these different atmospheres that I was in and the decisions I could have made going into college, you feel me? Like, I just felt like it was an important conversation for us to have, especially with other people looking into college right now and where to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, if y'all want to share y'all schools, y'all can go ahead and y'all can do that if y'all feel like y'all would like to do that. If not, I can just go ahead and start.
So I went to Howard University for undergrad, and I went to Providence College for undergrad, and I went to another PWI, Boston College, for grad school. So.
And I went to the University of Tampa for undergrad.
I went to Westfield State. Yeah. If you know Westfield, there's nothing good about Westfield besides me and my friends. This is about it. But my first question to y'all would be, how did you determine that you wanted to go to HBCU? For somebody who did go to HBCU, what was like, how did you determine that?
Well, in high school, it was senior year. First of all, let me just say this. I never knew anyone that had ever finished undergrad. Like, I knew people that went to college, but they never finished. And so, and to add on to that, I've never known anyone that has ever attended an HBCU. So when I first found out about them, I just like researched it, and specifically Howard, because they have so many like informative videos on YouTube about like the campus life and like, you know, the alumni that have been there and all that other stuff. So once I saw that, and I saw like how like powerful Black people can be when they're pushed to the limit in their own communities, like instead of PWIs, I just thought that would be the school for me. Like,
I knew it from when I was looking at those videos.
How'd y'all come up with the decision to go to y'all schools? Shelby and Brian.
I'll let you start, Brian.
Honestly, it was just financial. Like, Providence College was not my first choice, but they ended up giving me the most money, and it was just the most realistic at the time to go there.
Well, I transferred to the University of Tampa, so I spent 2 years there. But it was like I was just ready to get out of Massachusetts, and I wasn't ready straight out of high school to go to school like out of state. So I was like, let me stay here a couple years and then transfer. So I transferred, and it was for financial reasons too, and also they took all of my credits, so it was like I wouldn't have to be backtracked when I did transfer. So that's why I chose that school. But I wish I would have made like different decisions, but everything happens the way it does for a reason.
That's a big fact. I think about that all the time. Like, I wish I made a different decision. But then I think back on my decision, and it's like, you know, going into college. First of all, I got rejected from my one school that I wanted to go to, and I only applied to 3. So I got rejected from the one school that I wanted to go to, and then once I got accepted into Westfield, and what they were offering, kind of like Brand's situation, like financial wise, it just made the most sense. They had some program where I could go and get free credits, so why not? And that helped me out in the long run. But at the end of the day, like, still sucks. But
what school did you want to go to?
UNC Charlotte. That was like my number one school. And then I applied again to get in for my master's, which I thought I was really gonna get in because I graduated cum laude. So I figured, you know, oh, okay, like, you know, I'm up there. Right. I don't gotta take no other test to get in. You know, I've been a part of all types of things on school campus and whatnot. You can put me on a wait list. I said, all right, bet. So my plan is, listen, my plan is to go down there and get a job at UNC Charlotte and tell everybody how they rejected me twice. You feel me? So now you can pay me as I tell everybody that you rejected me twice. Look, now I'm here. So
you are toxic. That's crazy.
I am sometimes. But that is dead ass in my plans. I've been looking for jobs, so I'm gonna go to UNC Charlotte. I'm gonna tell everybody when I go into my interview, I'm gonna say, I just want y'all to know y'all rejected me twice. And if y'all reject me a third time, I'm going to Chapel Hill. But what was it like transitioning back home? You feel me, from school? I'll say for everybody, but when I think about like the difference between an HBCU and a PWI, like, you're surrounded by white people all the time at PWI, right? And then you have this transition when you come back to where you're from, and it's different. You feel me? And you're around your people. It's more comfortable. Versus for you, Leah, it's probably like you transfer back home. You come back home, and it's like
it's mad white people now.
Right. So, what was that transition like for y'all?
I was happy to come home. I was like, get me away from these people. I was so happy to be home. Like, I wanted to, when I graduated, I wanted to stay in Florida, but it just wasn't, I wasn't happy there, and it just nothing was working out how like I envisioned it working out. So I just ended up coming home. And when I came home, I was so happy to be here. I was to the point where I was miserable because I just didn't want to be there no more. And yeah, I was happy. I was happy to be back around my family and just people that I felt more comfortable around. Because it was like I was there during the summer. Nobody's really there because I had graduated and I was trying to like stay there. But it just wasn't working. I was ready to
go. For me, it was kind of bittersweet. Like, looking back, I definitely would have picked a different school, but I'm also grateful for the experience that I had there. So I enjoyed my freshman year of college a lot. You know, I enjoyed partying with my friends. I enjoyed all that stuff. But at the same time, it is uncomfortable to be like the only Black person in a room like 80% of the time. So I don't know. I think it was bittersweet for me coming back home.
For me, I feel like the only reason I came home was because I was broke. So I just came home to get my money up, honestly. I really, like, when I went to DC, I was like, ooh, this is really different. Like, it was just, I was not used to a place like DC. Like, it's just, it takes some getting used to. But once you get used to it, you love it. Like, so when I came back home, I was like, oh, this shit boring. Like, I want to go
what
back.
was different about it?
About DC?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this nicely. It's not as clean as Boston. Like, there are a lot of like rats and roaches and shit, like, and stuff like that. But that takes some getting used to. But other than that, like, there are just so many more museums, like free museums. There is just like, I don't know, like the nightlife is better. You see a lot of successful Black people out there, which is something you don't get to really see out here. Like, I didn't really see that growing up. So when I went out there, I was like, whoa, like, there's rich Black people out here. Like, it's crazy. And they're not like celebrities either. They're like lawyers, doctors, you know, things like that, entrepreneurs. So when I came back home, I was just like, yeah, I need to go back. That transition was hard, I'm not gonna lie, because just coming back here was, there were just so many more white people, and I'm just not used to that anymore.
There we go. Back into it. Before we even keep going, their background guest made a great point to bring up what a PWI means, which is a predominantly white institution. As far as the HBCU, historically Black
college and university.
I just wanted to make sure.
Okay. It's okay.
But I just wanted y'all to know that for anybody who did not know. So yeah. My next question for y'all. First of all, thank you for answering that. All of you guys with honesty and genuineness. But how do you maintain relationships, like, with distance in between y'all? So I thought about this for y'all because I know you and Brianna are best friends, you know, and Brianna went to school in Providence. She went to school, you know, in DC. Shelby and I weren't as close in college, but Shelby went to school in Tampa, so I'd never really seen her like that until we graduated. Like, that was like when we started getting tight. So how do you maintain friendships? How do you maintain relationships around the board? So I'm talking your friends, your family, or even a significant other.
What made it easier, I think, was the fact that we had such like long breaks. Like in December, I would come home for a month, and then like I would come home for a few weeks in March or something like that. But like, I think the breaks made a difference because every time I came back home, we would be together for days, like just chilling, going to parties and stuff like that. So, and also like communication, like we would just always text and FaceTime.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, like, making an effort to reach out to people and just like communicating, FaceTiming, texting, checking up on people. Like, you have to, I felt like personally I was just like more on it because it's like you're away now, so like you're like not disconnected, but it's just like you're like missing out on everything sort of that's going on back home. So you have to like put in like extra effort to sort of be there even though you're not really there.
That's what you have to want to do it. Like, you can't just let things like play out how they play out. Like, you have to go out of your way to actually hit that person up and see how they're doing and things like that.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I mean, speaking for me and Aaliyah, I feel like we both also have an understanding that I'm sorry. We have an understanding where it's like we didn't have to talk every single day. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, we both have our own separate lives. Like, I had a whole new friends group. She had a whole new friends group. And we understood we didn't have to talk every single day, but that's still, at the end of the day, it's my best friend. You know what I mean? So like, you probably would check in maybe once every 2 weeks sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, depending on what was going on. But I never questioned our friendship, you know?
That's valid right there, for sure. That's valid. What about relationships with a significant other? Like, do they work when you're in college, especially with the distance in between you?
No.
Just straight up no.
Sorry.
I feel like just like with family and friends, you have to make an effort. And if you don't make an effort, it's not going to work at all.
It might work. You never know.
No, it's not gonna work if you don't make an effort.
I
mean, if one person is trying to make like the relationship work when it's long distance and the other person is just like, oh, I'm just living my life, I'm out here, whatever, like it's not gonna work because you guys are on two different pages, and then at that you're at two different states. Like how is that gonna work?
And
it's
honestly,
barely get to see each other.
You gotta make an effort, like you said. Go ahead.
A lot of guys are threatened by the fact that like you're away at college and you have all these other guys that like they don't know, but they don't know what you're doing, like stuff like that. So it's like it was hard to keep up with like people from back home because it was like, especially guys, because they're like, you probably talking to other niggas, blah blah. Like, so it's I mean, it's up to them. Like, if they really trust you, then it'll work. But a lot of guys don't have that trust yet because that's just not how they were raised. Like, they don't trust girls if they're not in the same vicinity. Like,
well, you know, it's me having to step in here. You feel me?
Let's hear Miss Toxic.
Listen, I was in that situation, and like you said, Shelby, it has to do with the effort. But like you said, Aaliyah, you know, it's hard to trust. You know, I'm like half a nigga sometimes. It's my mindset. You feel me? It do be hard to trust. But you got to communicate. And it has to be the person you're trusting. So I trusted the other person. They didn't trust me. Like, because the type of person that I was. So I was that person where I'm just living my best life in college. Like, I was always throwing parties. I was always out. You know what I mean? Like, it gave,
were you
it
always
added.
talking to other people?
I would say that I was entertaining for sure. But when I was serious, it was all about the effort. Like, I had to take flights. You know what I mean?
That's the problem, though. You can't pick and choose when you want to be serious and when you don't, because then
which I've been saying this whole episode.
You're toxic.
I'm just saying.
Let's say it together.
You feel me? Like, but I had to learn. I had to learn. I had to grow up. I feel like college was a way for me to like try to grow up. Like, I just had to. And then senior year hit, and it was like a lot of shit happened senior year, and my mind couldn't focus on my mom was trying to focus on somebody else, but it couldn't focus that far. You feel me? Like, I needed to take care of what was going on around me before I could focus outside, but at a different state. You know, so and despite that, I still tried. You know, I put in that effort, but it was 10 times harder in that moment where I felt like my mindset is already exhausted, and I know yours is too. But we're just trying to make something work when, like, right now the car is running with no gas in it. You know what I mean?
That's valid. That was deep.
See, feel me? Now, am I that toxic?
Yeah.
That was never on the table, but yeah, go ahead.
How do y'all feel when people ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm gonna add a little twist to this too, right? Because I think it's different. Like, I feel like there's different expectations on where you go to school. Like, so like when Westfield is all known for criminal justice. So when I tell somebody I went to Westfield, they say, did you study criminal justice? Right. Then I also had a lot of people around me supporting me who had these expectations for me to be something great or to be something. There's people that want you to be great, and then there's people that want you to be less than what you really are, right? So how do you feel when people ask you that questions, especially when it comes to those expectations from where your current environment?
I think when you're first like starting out with like your college career, that question is annoying as hell, because it's like, how am I supposed to know what path that I want to take and where I'm going to be in 4 or 5 years or when I graduate, whatever. But now, like, after graduating, it's like you start to really think about things more deeply. You kind of have a better understanding of where you want to be in life, what it is you want to do. But first starting out, like, you're 18 years old, like, you don't know I changed my major. Like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I'm still figuring it out. So that question is annoying to me at first. But now that I think once you get a better understanding of where you want to be and and you can actually answer that question, it's like, okay, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. And this is what I am hoping to achieve in the next 5 years. And you can say it with more like knowledge behind it. Before it's just like, okay, you're aggravated.
And like confidence. I would have confidence.
Yeah.
Like people used to ask me that, and I used to be like, I want to be a sports psychologist. I don't even know really what all that entailed, but I just knew I like sports and psychology sounded great. So I'm just gonna put that together. I didn't really know that was a thing. I thought I was making that thing up myself, actually. I didn't really know that was a thing until afterwards. And then somebody said to me, I think you should go into social work. I was like, all right, let's see what it got. Let's talk about.
Right. Nah, I definitely agree with what everyone's saying. I used to want to be a CPS investigator, which is literally the person that does like the CPS hotline that goes to get the kids.
Girl, that's stressful.
When they're in an abusive home, I used to really think that's what I wanted to do. I would never do that, like ever in my life. Like,
but that's stress.
Like Shelby said, I feel like now that I've got a degree and have, I just got my master's, like I have more of an understanding of where I want to see myself in 5 years, because like I'm more confident, like Aubrey said. And I don't know, I'm just more overall sure of, I just know myself better. I've experienced things, so.
Sure. For me, like, I feel like that question is still annoying because, like, yeah, I know like the route I want to take, but I don't really know my ending point. You know what I'm saying? Like, things happen in life where, like, life is not predictable. So yeah, I know I want to help people, and I know that I'm good at listening, and I know that like I'm good with children, but do I want to become a teacher? I tried that. No, I don't. Do I want to, work in a school? Probably not. But that's what I've done so far. So I want to try other things. I feel like this point in my life is all about like gaining experience and like doing new things, trying new things out, and seeing where it could take you. So I don't know. Like, I feel like that question is just like, so it just makes me anxious. I'm like, I don't know. Like, how am I supposed to know now?
You want to be like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? How about that?
Like, don't be questioning me.
Right. Like, but, I want to be like, what is your end goal when you ask me that? What are you trying to get out of that? How is that going to help you?
Right. I feel like a better question is, what are you interested in? Like, what are you working on? Like, what are your passions? Because where do you see myself in 5 years? Who the fuck knows? Like, I could be doing whatever. Who knows where I'm going to be?
That's what
I'm going to be doing.
Right.
Like,
and a lot of people that go into college and do one major, when they come out, like, maybe like 10, like when they're 30, they don't even do the same thing that they were doing in college. So
my major has nothing to do with what I do. Absolutely nothing.
Right. Wait, what was your major in college?
Entrepreneurship.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
well, this has everything to do with it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like, like everything that I do on the side is related, but not my source of income. Like, not what I consider. I wouldn't even consider it my career. I can just consider it a job.
Yeah, it's just
very true. And that's fine because you're so young. I feel like society like tries to put you in a box. Like, no, you have to do this by this age and do this by this. It's like, no, like you don't know where life is gonna take you. Some people find their passion at 40. So like for you to just, it's true, try to say that I need to figure it out by 30 or figure it out by 25. It's just a lot of pressure on people.
If somebody said 25 to me, I would be like, huh? That's tomorrow, right?
You remember when you were 18 and you were thinking about being 25? You're like, damn, that's old. Like, I gotta have
right, yo. I had mad plans.
Now
bro,
it's right around the
25.
corner.
Bro, I was like, I want to buy a house when I turn 25. I said, bro, the way 2020 is going. Listen, listen, that's crazy. But I want to ask y'all, like, how do y'all, as far as like everything that's going on in the world right now, right, and dealing with situations with ignorant white people, right? How do you deal with those situations at a PWI versus at a HBCU? Like, I just feel like that can just that energy is different. You know what I mean?
I remember when y'all's president got elected, and and whoever claims him out there, but I was in Florida, and you know, they're like, I believe they're a swing state. Like, it can go either way with them. And it was like the day after, and like we went out to some bar that we usually go out with my friends, and there was a guy that pulled up to the bar, and he had like a Confederate flag like hanging like in a pickup truck, like in the back of the pickup truck, like waving it around. I was like, it was just like a shock, you know, like, because you don't expect to like see those things. And then especially after a racist like president was just elected, and he's being like basically put on blast for all this stuff that he's doing, touching women and all, like, and you're out here with the Confederate flag like just waving it around like it's a celebration. Like, it just made me feel extremely uncomfortable, and then it made me more aware of my surroundings. Like, okay, this is what you're around right now. These are the type of people that are frequenting these areas. So I need to be on point, and I need to know what's going on at all times, because if anything goes down, I will pepper spray somebody. I've been waiting to.
I feel that.
Facts. Yo, my school, they freaking threw like, they didn't even throw a party. They just started destroying stuff, basically. We have like this globe in the middle of campus. That's what Westfield State was like their symbol or whatever. And they went over there and they started trying to destroy it. They do that every time the Patriots win the Super Bowl, right? That pissed me off because first year I was there when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, I was asleep and I hear everybody storming outside. That pissed me off, right? Then, and when Trump got elected, they started destroying the globe again, right? But then I had a situation where, you know, they were writing nigger all over the doors and swastikas, and we set up a rally to speak to everybody, and they had security out. They had the campus security outside. I'm like, where y'all at when the Patriots win? You feel me? Like, where was y'all at when Trump got elected? I don't understand what's going on right now. And what's worse is they write a nigger on my door, and I work for y'all. I work for student security. You feel me? So they telling me, Alves, make sure you're careful tonight. Make sure you're careful. What am I being careful of? Like, what do y'all plan on doing? Because I'm careful.
Right.
You feel me? So energy's different for sure.
I'm gonna try to keep my response short because I could talk about this forever. But I'm gonna just say, like, okay, I went to school in the suburbs. I've been around white people. I've been to school with mainly white people. I've been the only white person. I've been the only black person in my class. You know, so I understood how that felt like. But I feel like when I went to PC, it was just different. Like, I've had white friends before. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, I've been cool with white people, and I feel like going to Providence College, it was just, those were a different type of white people, if I'm being honest with you. Like, some of them have never seen a black person in their life, like, for real. They've never seen a black person. They just are so ignorant. So I think it's just a different type of atmosphere, and it was a point where, like, I never had a white friend at Providence College, but I feel like it really prepared me, because I feel like you can never be prepared for the things that are going on right now, honestly. But I feel like it kind of opened my eyes up, because seeing my friends experience firsthand racism, seeing like the systematic like issues in a predominantly white misogynistic school, I think it's just different, you know. And I think that's why necessarily what's like, you know, everything that's happening in the world, yeah, it angers me, but it doesn't surprise me, because I literally was a part of a rally before, and this boy was sitting like behind me, and there was a white man in his ear talking about, yeah, boy, nigger, da-da-da, like just like saying shit in his ear. And I remember like just like being so infuriated myself. And to this day, I respect this man. It's like, I don't think I would have been able to just sit there and listen to that in my ear without saying nothing. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like I've experienced so much going to a PWI where it's just like, I don't know, like,
it's like you numb to it in a sense when you shouldn't be. Like, you already exposed to all the bullshit that
That's
happens.
The crazy
right?
part. I feel like I'm not numb to it. I feel like as it like continues to happen, I get even more angry. It's like, I don't feel like I'll ever be numb to it. Anytime I see something, it's like I can't even watch those videos in full. Like, I can't listen to. I can't, because it makes me so angry. Like, I can't. I wouldn't say it. I was.
I'd be feeling like. For me personally, I felt like when I went through, like, when everything happened senior year with all that stuff, it was like everything was on my shoulders and my roommate's shoulders, right? And so you're trying to make a difference and you're going to all these meetings every day, like class meeting. Every day I didn't have class, I had a meeting. I wasn't even going home at the time. Like that was my outlet to go home, right? So now I'm not seeing my mom or my grandmother, my self-care, doing what I do for self-care, right? And then I'm exhausting myself where all this other stuff is happening. Everybody keep coming to me to make things right? So now I'm tired. Like I'm exhausted being that one person. I got the president wanting to sit down and talk to me. Bro, I don't want to talk to you. You're not gonna make a difference, but I have to sit down and talk to you because everybody expecting you to talk to this person to try to make a difference. So
it's crazy that you're the one experiencing it and you have to deal with the repercussions of it. Because you're not even the one doing it, but yeah, you have to go to the meetings. You have to meet with all these people. Why?
Yes.
And you didn't ask for it. Like you were just born Black. You didn't ask for any of this. Like
right. So when I say like I'm numb to it, it's like I don't know what more to say to everybody. Like I know that I'm upset, but I also am at a loss for words. Like I don't know how to put anything into words anymore on how I feel. Like because there's so much going on.
And that's okay. Like I feel like a lot of times we have like Black people have like this sense of guilt. Like, no, I need to say something. I have to stand up, or they're gonna think like, I'm okay with what's happening. But like, some people are just sick of it. Like we can't even voice how we feel anymore because it's like it's happened. It's trauma. Like it's happened so much that we're like, damn. Like I don't have nothing to say about this anymore. Like it's just
right. Like you don't want to talk no more.
Yeah,
that's how I feel right now. Like when people come to me and they want to talk about it, and it's like what you want me to say?
Especially when your words are falling on deaf ears. Like you're not listening to me anyway. So what am I wasting my breath for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like this Black Lives Matter protests, all the protests happening around the world now. I'm glad that a lot of like white people are deciding to stand with us. But like, you didn't know our lives mattered before. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took a video of a man being, killed, even though we've had so many in the past. It just took this one for you to be like, you know what?
Black lives
they matter now. They matter. I'm gonna stand with them. They matter. Like, you know how many people have been killed before? We went through slavery, we went through segregation, Jim Crow, all this stuff, and now all of a sudden, now we're getting, all this treatment, like this good treatment from all these companies and all these white people. It's like,
and now it's everywhere. It's
and that's I feel like it's a marketing, like it's just like
it definitely is.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you go on every website and it's a black screen, Black Lives Matter, we stand
it's
with
white
you, and it's
guilt.
just like
we hear you,
exactly. And it's just like you're just putting something out there just to protect yourself. Do all of your employees really feel this way? Does everyone who you work with really feel like Black Lives Matter, or are you just putting something up to save face for your company?
Exactly.
Like, what is it?
It is.
Because now, like Aaliyah just said, all of a sudden Black Lives Matter.
Right.
They've always mattered, but now you feel like you can speak on it.
Exactly.
Now you feel like you can say something.
I think that's the part that makes me more so upset now. Is like now you care. You feel me? Like there's a billboard that I drive by when I go into the city, and it's like that wasn't there when Trayvon Martin was killed. That wasn't there when Eric Garner was killed. That wasn't there. Like now it's there because people are making noise when they've been making noise, but now all of a sudden you decided to unblock your ears and listen. So now I gotta drive by and see the billboard. Now, like I feel like that's like a jab.
You know
right
what
there.
it
Like,
is. Also,
you have to relive the trauma over and over.
It's also everyone is getting. We had this conversation the other day, Aubrey, with your mom, but like everyone is getting scrutinized for what they say. So I just feel like people are like, if I say the wrong thing, I can't say the wrong thing, so I'm gonna just say this because it's clean, it's standard, it's cookie cut. Like they can just put it out there and they'll feel like they're safe. But you need to do more.
Yeah.
They need to.
I think we've been having that conversation, Shelby, which is so unique because honestly, ever since like us filming now, like we started filming at the beginning of everything happening, right? And so this conversation is we always have this conversation now. And a lot of the times what we hear is, they don't want to say anything because they get scrutinized. You feel me? Like I have a Latino friend where most of my friends are Latino and Latinas, right? And they feel like they can't say anything because somebody scrutinized them for saying something when they didn't say anything bad. They just said how they felt about the situation. They never said all lives matter. They never said Latinos lives matter. They never said any of that, but that's how the other person perceived it. And she's like, wait, no, wait a minute. That's not what I'm saying. Like, now they have to explain themselves. Mm-hmm. And then when somebody has to explain themselves, it's either they start trembling over the words, they're trying to figure out how to make up for what they said, because now they're trying to make you feel better. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I hear the most, even with Connor on the Building a Brand episode. You feel me? He's like, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I'm gonna get Deval Patrick on my show for us to have a conversation. You feel me? Because I don't know what that's like. So right. I think there's a difference. You feel me?
Yeah, I agree. Sure. But I definitely commend you guys for going to, PWIs and like going through all of that and not going to jail. Because honestly, if I was at a PWI, I don't know what would happen. I don't know what would happen. Like, I can't handle like white people not like saying nigger and all that stuff. I can't do that. And I feel like when I went to a HBCU, like it felt safe. It felt like we were in a bubble, like in our own community, because there were so many Black people around me. So when Trump became president, it wasn't like anything changed. Like, yeah, everybody was you felt the sadness on campus. Like, people were crying, but it was never like anybody rejoicing and being like, like, yes, like finally I can be racist. Like I don't have to be covert anymore. I can say nigger whenever I want, because that's really what it was. Like when he went into office, everybody was allowed to be who they truly are inside. They didn't have to hide it anymore. So like I couldn't imagine ever going through that. So I really couldn't do that.
So nothing I want to say too, like I never was called a nigger like blatantly in my face. I never I've experienced it, but not so blatant. So I will always like say like, yo, like God really puts me in the right situations, because if it was me, like I really feel like I would got expelled. I would have something would have definitely, I don't know. Like I just don't really feel like I'm mature enough to sit there and just not say nothing, or to sit, you know what I mean? Like I just don't feel like I don't know. I don't feel like I have that in me.
And I'm sorry, but that's the thing. Like society tries to make you feel like you're not mature if you react to these things. I'm not supposed to be going through these things in the first place. So why should I be the mature one when I'm being attacked? Like, it just doesn't make sense. But sorry, I had to.
No, that's true though. That's valid.
That's valid. That's valid.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I remember when Trump got elected on campus. Like I remember going to class and people were like legit like crying and like legit afraid for their lives. Like they have immigrant families, they have people, they know people who are on DACA, they know all that stuff. And I remember going to a rally, we had a peaceful rally, just to stand in solidarity with the people who were suffering, the people who whatever. And I remember literally people were yelling out the window like, oh my niggers, and throwing stuff out the window. And it was just crazy. Like we're trying to do something peaceful. We're not causing no type of ruckus. We're not doing nothing. But it's just just stuff like that. It was just crazy. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's horrible. I've always been a person who, Brand knows this, but I've always been a person who doesn't necessarily agree with protests. I was a person I was that type of person for a while. Like, I don't necessarily agree with the whole protesting thing. That was my mindset, like throughout college. Like, what more can you do? Like, I feel like more people should run for higher positions. I feel like they should be the best in their class. They should be freaking treasurer of the student senate or whatever. Like, I just feel like there's so much more that you can do. Not even that you could do. Like, I don't know how to put it into words, but I just feel like there's so much more that's out there
that can be done,
be a part of. You know what I mean? And I feel like now I'm at a point where, like, I want to be a part of that, the protest, and I want to be a part of feeling that energy. And my mindset has changed tremendously because I think of the growth and what I've been through. You know what I mean? So I wanted to put that out there because some people may feel like they also don't agree with protesting, which is why they don't take part in it. But it's needed. You know what I mean? Like, it's needed. And there's more to be done. Don't get me wrong. I think go out there and protest, but run for congresswoman, run for congressman, run for freaking Boston Police Commission. Whatever you do, I just feel like just do something that's even better.
Like,
Build
don't
your
let
own
that
platform.
just be it. Don't
Exactly.
let that be everything you do.
Exactly.
Because
like
the
that,
results need to come from it. Something is supposed to come
Yes.
from all of the protesting and everything.
But that's how I always felt like you protest and then what? That was always my thing. Like, you protest and then what? Then what do you do? Like, I said that to Brian before, like, we're out here and we protest and then what? Like, we just here.
Like, you're screaming to get all this attention. Now everybody's looking at you and you're just like.
And then once everybody's looking at you, you go home.
You gotta do something. Yeah.
But everybody go home. That's the thing. Like, everybody go home afterwards. So then what do you do when you go home? What do you do when you go to school the next day? What do you do when you go to work the next day?
Protesting is just a part of it. It's one piece of it.
Yeah. It's gonna be the end all be all. Like, you should definitely be making more strides towards, like, you know, like, uplifting the Black community. Like you said, like, run for treasurer or just do small things, because people don't realize, like, small things build up and they, like, become things that can, like, change history. You don't know what you becoming treasurer will do for that committee or whatever. Like,
exactly.
You don't know. So yeah, I definitely understand.
It's big fact. But all right, Zoom's gonna kick us off again, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I truly appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody who jumps on the podcast, but I appreciate y'all for jumping on for sure, and talking about this, because I think it's a deep conversation. I feel like we could have just went even longer, but it's also a conversation that needs to be had, and I hope that this can be a conversation starter for people out there who are considering going to a PWI or considering going to an HBCU. Like, take what you heard and talk about it.
Yes, and I encourage more young Black kids to go to HBCUs, because I wish that I went to one. I wish that I went to an HBCU. Yeah.
Go to Howard. Go to Howard. No, but yeah, honestly, like, all those HBCUs are definitely, like, good, because going to PWIs, it doesn't really, like, it's financially is better, because I will say, like, Howard did not give me a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie, but it was worth my sanity. It was worth, like, me learning so much about my history that I did not know. And just walking those, like, just walking the same steps that a lot of the alumni that came before me, like, that did huge things, they made huge strides in the Black community. Like, it was just very uplifting, like, doing that every day. So I definitely advise a lot of Black people to go to HBCUs.
Whatever you do, just don't go to Westfield State.
I don't think anybody wants to. Don't go to Providence College either, honestly.
Good. Don't go there.
College either.
Yeah, do not go to Westfield State. But
that's on the record too. I don't give a fuck.
Put it out there. Go ahead.
Let them know. But like always, this is Valid TV. Vulnerability, accountability, leadership, intentionality, and demand. All aspects of life, and we always just here to talk about it.